You're going to be getting started in a few minutes. Just a few minutes, we're going to be starting our code school info session. Just get your colleagues here, inbox someone that link and let them get here. Let's get rolling. A very good afternoon. I want to believe that we are doing well. Yes, you're welcome to this code school info session. A very good afternoon. We are going to be talking and informing you a bit about the code school and what happens there and what we expect from the various schools and what you should expect from Code Academy Uganda. Some of you are not new to this. You've probably come across our activity. You've been a part of it at some point. You've benefited from it. Your school has participated in it years ago, and you probably know a bit about it. We are coming on with that in a more profound way. And yes, we want to bring this very profoundly to you in a more profitable way to your school and to the learners that will be participating in this. Yes, I'll begin with a brief about Code Academy Uganda, just to share with you those who probably don't know a lot about us. We shall start from there. You allow me to share my screen. Okay. So you can see my screen. You can see my screen. Okay, now Code Academy Uganda every child must code. That's the theme that we're running with concerning this, that every child must code. We look forward to reinvent the future for our learners and create a more inclusive future for them. We envision a Uganda where every child can program a computer, and our mission remains to inspire, train, and mentor the next generation of digital creators in computer science knowledge and skills, which have proved to be vital in the 21st century workforce. And yes, every child is going to be working in that workforce years to come. And this knowledge and skills are really vital for them. Yeah, this Code School program has reached over 5,000 in the recent years in schools for both physical and online. Now, this has spanned across the country, Uganda, and has really gone as far as Nigeria, as far as Kenya, as far as Botswana, as far as the UK, and then as far as the United States of America. We've had kids join this program from those that far. We envision, we have a move to reach 7,000 students, and in various parts of the country. And this move was called for last year. And we got to the place where we hit 5,000 plus. But this year we have another move to reach 1 million children in schools with these skills, having them learn how to code or being introduced to code free of charge. So we say join us today. If you are a school, if you are an organization, if you are an NGO, you can join us in this move, and we reach and impact these learners with such profound skills this year. This was a session that happened for one of the schools at the Ministry of ICT, for schools that don't have computer labs but can make it to Kampala, always get a session of the Ministry of ICT, still at no cost. This is how the session looked while it went on last year for these students. Then earlier on this year, we had an online session for Code School where we trained, where we had over 100 children being who are registered to join the program across the country and beyond in the Code School on the 5th and the 6th of January 2023. Further on, we had quite a number of engagements with learners doing learning coding in our various programs in the Code Camp, and the Code Clubs. This one of this time we had them in the Code Camp. So in the camps, we've literally had about 700 plus, trained within the Code Camps. And these are basically 30 hours of class of coding, practical coding with these children in an organized setup, either online or physically. This was a class for January this year still, 9th to 27th. It happened at the Ministry of ICT. Always the part of them. These are some of the highlights of that class. as you could see here, some of the learners that were in that class. So we also have run code clubs in schools, both primary and secondary. These clubs span across a wide range of regions in Uganda. And yes, your school too can be a part of this, we can come and introduce a club and establish it in your school. It's a very profound program a school should be having. Here is one of the sessions in a school while they were learning coding, and that was Edward there standing and having the session go on last year. That is a session for coding in some of the schools around Kampala by Code Academy Uganda. That's also a session that is going on in there. See, that's a session going on for Code School. Now, we say that the feature is what we choose it to be, and we have chosen a digital one. Some of our learners 2021 in the NSC program. Yes, we do a computer science course for students every holiday. They really enjoy that. And it entails a number of modules: Scratch beginners, intermediate, advanced, under the CS fundamentals. It spans across 2D game, storytelling, music and art with mBlocks, AI, Python, mobile apps, Turtle, web design, coding with JavaScript and Microbit. It really spans across a wide range of skills. We say that you should become a data creator today. It all starts with a single coding class. Just like that code club that happened this year in January, last month. Till every child has an opportunity to program a computer, we're still going on. Some of our partners, Nita Uganda, .nsc, Omprakash, Query.shop, among others. Thank you. Every child deserves an opportunity to choose what future they would like to live in. That was a bit about us at Code Academy Uganda. Now we're going now to get into the Code School in particular as a program that we do offer to schools. Okay, so what is Code School? Code School is a coding program that we offer to schools, both primary and secondary. And this program is offered to you at no cost because it's fully sponsored by Code Academy Uganda to our learners here in Uganda to be able to get an introduction to coding. So every school that has learners 8 years and above qualifies to participate in the program. The program is a 2 to 1 hour session of coding for the learners in a school's computer lab. And this I speak concerning schools that have computer laboratories, functional. I will be keen on that. We conduct a hands-on session with the learners. So meaning they do the coding practically, and they do it there in the session. So meaning if they're going to make a game, they make the game. If they're making animation, they create it, and by the end of the session, they have really done it. Then for schools that do not have computer labs but have learners above 8 years, also you can participate in this year's Code School. Unlike the previous years, we've not been having this option for such schools, but this year it has come on, and we say also your learners can be introduced to coding even when you do not have computers. So how do we do this? We work with what we call the unplugged coding lessons for the learners, where they are able to learn coding but without working with a computer. That's still possible, and we do it within our Code School program. One of the things that we require you to have if you don't have computers or a lab is at least to have a projector that can help learners to witness what's going on while they accomplish the various coding tasks that they really get within the unplugged Code School. Moving on from there, the question that we may have next is, how do we participate? How do we get involved? How do we be a part of this? This year, we are going to be running this in 3 different cohorts. We're going to be running this in March for areas of Wachiso and Kampala. So if you are in Wachiso and Kampala, you ought to jump on and enroll for this year, for this program as early as possible, because the window is closing in for those schools there. Because we take 100 schools every cohort, we sponsor that number. Then for June, July, we take on schools. We are going to be having schools coming in from the western, that is Port Portal, Mbarara, and Hoima regions. So if those schools, if you're saying your school is in that region, yeah, Masaka, Mbarara, Port Portal, and Hoima, you could also go in there and register, indicate your school location, and we know that you will be coming on for you in June, July. Then for these other regions, like you were in Arua, you were in Gulu, we were in Mbale, we also have a package for you and Jinja, and that's coming on in September, October. We'll be coming down to Arua, to Gulu, to Mbale, and Jinja to conduct the sessions there in that month. So every segment of the program, we take 100 schools. So with the limited funding that we always work with, we work with schools that come in fast. So it's on a first come, first serve basis. And you need to be able to get in as early as you can to be able to be confirmed a slot in those for your students to get a bit of learning coding. So you may be wondering, what is in this for my school? Why do I benefit? Your school has a number of benefits that it can draw from this program. Number one, you can get a platform to introduce your learners to a code club where they can be able to start and join a code club session, which will cause them to learn more and create more so that will cause your school to stand out in the digital space as one that advocates for learners to create things that make for the betterment of their future. For the learners, them getting this free session is very, very profound, because this they wouldn't have got otherwise, unless they were probably at that particular school where you were. So it's important that they really get to appreciate that the games they play, they can make them. It's important that they appreciate that the animations they watch on TV, they can also create their own animations, so that we raise the people that are able not only to watch the cartoons and play the games, but also can be able to create them. That speaks of primary education. Moving on to secondary education, there's quite a lot of applications that we do, mobile app inventors, and a number of learning platforms that we work with to introduce you guys to coding, and you also need this, trust me. So how much time do you have to get on? For the schools in Kampala, Wakiso, actually also Mukono is on for this particular segment of code school. You have till next week, till Saturday next week, to have registered your school to be a part of this, because we are closing in very fast to the target, and once we hit 100, that will be it. For the teachers of ICT, what happens is that we also train you in what we do, so that we can work with you in the session. Beyond the code school, we also offer ICT teachers workshops, where you tend to upskill yourself in the various technologies, and that oftentimes comes also at no cost. So your participation in this puts you ahead of the competition for such programs from Codecademy Uganda. Thank you so much. I'll take any questions. If there are any, you can put them in the chat. I'll be able to answer them when the time comes. Okay. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you for being here. It is nice having you, and may the Lord really increase you. See you in the Code Schools program.